Hey everyone, how you all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Builder's Block right here on the Transverse Network. I am Jess, you are awesome, and hopefully together we'll have a relatively fun time. I mean, I'm not going to shoot for the moon here. We're just going to go for like minimum levels of viable fun. That's the key here. All right, first, the inevitable question: can you hear me? And can you hear me well and not just like through another mic across the room? Because that always seems to happen. Um, Sorry, I'm even getting a text. I want to make sure it's not someone saying that my sound is terrible. Okay, not so far. But yeah, let me know in the chat if you are hearing me correctly, because I know I seem to always have technical problems and sound problems, and I don't learn. So I need you to help me help me do better. Um, so if you, I'm gonna assume it's okay. I'm gonna assume it's okay. You tell me if it's not, and I'm gonna charge ahead. So let me say, if you are new here, if you have not been to Builder's Block before, here's the deal. Oh, awesome! Thank you, Anshara. This show is all about sharing off some creative, fun construction things that we do. There are different contributors to the show. It's changed as time has gone by. Right now, it's down to two of us. We have Emily, who does these amazing Star Wars droids. I always stumble over that, but they're really cool custom droids that she puts together, and I do Lego things, and so we alternate back and forth, passing the show back between us. Hey, Ashley. And that keeps it going, keeps it fun. But that's not all that is on the Transverse Network. There is so much more, and if you're not familiar, I hope you will follow if you're not already, and check out some of the other very cool shows that we have here on the network, from great talk shows and interviews to discussions about the news, or a peek behind open doors into our private lives, and things are not always so private, and even fun things like Dungeons and Dragons, regular shows and one-offs. It's all kinds of awesome stuff here. Hey, Midvani. Yeah, it's a good time, and I hope if you don't already check it out, you will check it out with us. Oh, and we got a new builder. That's awesome. I'm sorry for me not tracking that better, Emily. We have Mimi coming in doing Gundam stuff next week, so you'll have yet another kind of building here on the Builder's Block Hour on Wednesdays. For now, let's talk about my building. So I build Lego things, and we all do. I mean, so many of us do, and that's good, because Lego is wonderful and a wonderful glue to have throughout so many people's experiences, whether you did it as a kid or if you do construction as an adult or both. It's a blast, and it's something I never really ever abandoned. A lot of times you hear people in the Lego community, the adult fan of Lego community, or AFOL as they're called, talk about their dark ages, some period in time where between childhood and adulthood they stopped building Lego. They thought they were too old for it, and they put it aside. That never happened for me. I've always loved to build. I've been building constantly, and while sometimes it's slowed a bit, it's never really stopped. And I still have a blast doing it. I say it's a way to sublimate all of the issues that might drive me towards a midlife crisis. Instead, I pour it into Lego. So instead of having a sudden sharp right turn and going to architecture school for 7 years, I can just let out those creative urges through Lego, and keep on keeping in the rest of life. So let's take a look at doing some building stuff. So if you've been here over the last couple weeks, you've seen me do a couple of different things. Excuse me. I often go back and forth between different things. I'm trying to do a more frequent job of shaking things up, because there was one period where I was working on my town hall, and I feel like it went on for months, and I think it did. I spent way too long on that building, and so hopefully that won't be the case. Or if it is ever that long, I will break up a little bit more. But that being said, we are in a little bit of a run here where I did a series of cars and an LGBTQ train, the trans train that has other cars for other identities in it. That was fun. I'm going to continue working on the train, but now I did a little pivot to work on what is my usual home base for building, which is Lego modular buildings. I'll explain that in a second. But I do love building custom Lego buildings. It's the standard that I most frequently do. I think almost everyone had the set that you played with as a kid, and that's often what you go back to as an adult. So people who did space often are still big space fans. I was definitely a town fan, and so I'm still a fan of the classic city world sets, or at least my interpretation of them, which are a little bit more complex than the typical set that you can buy from Lego. Hey, Niche. So that's my passion, and that's what I've been working on now, which has been a school. So one thing I did. Hey, Charlie, thank you so much for stopping by. One thing I've been doing, and I did a couple of weeks ago, was I built a school bus. So a smaller little set that's custom. It's no official set that I built, and I used stickers from an official set. I used some inspiration from a set, but this is far bigger and much wider. It's actually 7 studs wide, which is difficult to do, an odd number versus the usual even number within Lego sets. And if I can take off the roof here ever so jankily, you can see inside there are seats, and not just seats, but even an aisle between them. So you can have people actually sit side by side and their arms won't get in the way. As well as space to go out the door and a little automated lift in the back for a wheelchair. So that was what started what I'm working on now. So I built a school bus, and of course the school bus, you have to have a school. And so that's what I've been working on lately. I think a lot of you got to see the start of the school. I have come a lot farther with it. I've done a lot more, especially on the outside of it. We will continue to finish out the inside. I have not finished the interior of the school, but I have done a whole bunch of the exterior, and so I'm excited to show you that progress. It's a thing I would want to do on the stream, but one thing I kind of get carried away without realizing it, and I end up building whole swaths of the thing. The other is I kept running out of pieces. I kept having to order pieces. I'm looking over here because it's here. I'll show it to you in a second. I ran out of pieces for the building. And so I kept having to go onto a site called bricklink.com where you can make individual purchases of Lego. And I would buy more pieces, more dark red brick pieces, more dark green slope pieces for the roof. And oh man, when you see the roof, I had several hundred pieces. I'm like, oh, surely this is enough. Nope, wasn't even close. I ordered another 1,000 pieces. Still wasn't enough. Had to go back and order like another 500 before I finally had enough pieces for the roof. So that's, you don't want to watch me get halfway through building and then wait 2 weeks for pieces to arrive. So I've done a lot of that. Now we can work on the interior, and that should have no problem having the pieces to finish that off. All right, I can talk a mile a minute. I apologize. I recognize I often go very fast, but I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with you. I'm also excited for this to be the sign that the day has kind of ended work-wise. It was a very frenetic day. I sent out an email to 3,000 people, which I always have anxiety about. We sent out a teaser for our Pride events for the month. We're going to have 3 different speakers in the company for colleagues on or related to Pride. And so I sent out an email to our distribution list for everyone who signed up as a member or an ally of our LGBT community at work. So that was cool, but no matter how much I do it, I used to do internal communications, and I switched to external. But I've done it before in the past, but I'm still rusty at it, and I don't always have that confidence. And anytime you send something to so many people, just the thought that you're gonna get something wrong, you're gonna have a typo, a link's not gonna work, whatever it is, it always freaks me out. So I had healthy amount of anxiety. Hey, Bootsy, I appreciate the the saying with Charlie there and the number. Yeah, so it was a little nerve-wracking to send that out. I still don't know if it went okay. I mean, I sent one person a test. They seem to think it would work, but we'll find out tomorrow. But in any event, that took me right up until I was going to get ready for the stream, and then OBS didn't work. Nothing worked. It was quite panic-inducing. I couldn't change scene collections to load the builder's block setting. I reinstalled it. I was starting to despair. Finally, I found someone on a forum who suggested changing the global.ini file to set the default collection. It was messy. And right now, if I tried to change the scenes collection, the whole thing would freeze and would crash again. So it's not fixed. I just found a jury rig to be able to talk to all of you. And that's very distressing. When I don't change anything and everything suddenly just stops working, that's definitely freaky. Not knowing why and how to stop it from happening next time. But for now, this is the reality. And the important thing is that reality means I still get to talk to you and I still get to share. So that's good. I have almost all the cameras working. That was one too. Last week or a month ago, the camera up above me didn't work. I thought I fixed it. Decided not to work again today. Hopefully there'll still be enough for you to able to fully see the new building. Now, as I show it to you, I mentioned a couple of things like modulars before. So if you're unaware, modular buildings are, let me move my mouse over to that screen. Modular buildings have a particular standard they adhere to, which is matched by official buildings from Lego's actual collection, what you can buy from them. And so this is the town hall that I spent bajillion years building on stream before. And it conforms to this modular standard, which has a couple different unique aspects. One is, looking at one of my favorite buildings here, the depth of the sidewalk, how deep the sidewalk is, how big a default section of a site is, why websites don't. Okay, there we go. Where, how deep the sidewalk is, what like this light gray to dark gray transition, where buildings can connect to each other and where they end typically, all those kind of stuff. And having those constraints makes it a lot easier to be able to build to that standard. And so seeing this, it was my perfect ideal. I always dreamed about building giant involved buildings that had all four walls and actual stairwells and doorways and elevators within them, things that make the Lego buildings have practical sense as I understood them. It always bothered me as a kid that the buildings had no back and no stairs and you just teleport between floors. I always hated that. I wanted to have a fully enclosed building. And so this modular series met that standard for me. And it's modular because not only can they fit with each other, but you can also open them up inside and you can lift the floors apart and it's all done up. So this is one of my favorite, I mentioned, buildings, this apartment building. And I'm just clicking quickly, you see you can splits in half. It still aligns to the standard base plate, and then you can go inside and lift off the floors and there's a whole furnished interior. And so I have about, I think maybe 40 modular buildings at this point. Most of them finished, a few still in various stages of construction, including 2 behind me. And honestly, I'm thankful for this stream for a variety of reasons, but one of which is it actually makes me finish the buildings I had partway under construction. And that's, of course, the case with the school. So enough preamble. I speed talked for 12 minutes there. Let's take a look at the school and you can see how it's going. Now I'm going to start here and try to aim the camera at it. I'll probably walk around to see the whole thing. So I'll get away from the mic. You might not be able to hear me. We'll test that one out. But I want you to take in the school because I have it kind of nicely done. I think the exterior honestly is done. And I think I have things kind of nicely staged. So I'll walk around, I'll show you the building, and then we'll open it up and we'll start to actually fill in some of the missing bits on the inside. All right, so if you are ready, let's dive in. This will be interesting. So the camera I want to use, the Mevo, decided not to work today. I have an old iPhone hooked up as my mobile camera. The battery is like on permanent red. It doesn't seem to charge anymore. So hopefully it will last, but we'll find out. This is not a Catholic school, Vidvani. There are no nuns in this school. I'm a Protestant girl. I don't have that heritage. I would not want to get it wrong by misinterpreting a Catholic school. Actually, you can still wear your uniform if you want to. All right. Let's try this out. Mobile cam. Ooh, all right. I apologize in advance if this is a little bit rough. But here is the school. And you can see, despite the relatively bad lighting on it, let's see if I can add a light. Oh, it didn't really do that much. Let's see if I can make that light brighter. Yeah, didn't really do that much. Whatever. The other side will be bright when I get over there. This is my school, which I will attempt to hold my hands more steady. But yeah, I think it's pretty well finished. I think it's the exterior is nice. So I think when we were last here, I had done like the first floor, part of the second. I had maybe a framework for the third. Like it was, a lot was still missing. I filled in flowers. I built all the roofs. I built the back of the building, which I'll walk around to in a second. So I think I got it pretty well finished out. And just for a little bit of extra decoration, I have the school bus arriving, and all the kids are getting out, and they're going in, and there's the principal waiting, and teachers observing, and everyone's talking to each other, and one girl's giving the teacher an apple, and the day's getting off to a good start here at Jessville Elementary. So let's walk around a little bit. And so you might not be able to hear me, but I'll still talk. I'll try to shout. We'll see if it works, but you can see more. Okay. So again, here's the school. I'll walk around it. There you are over there. And the entrance I like because it's recessed, and there's an official sticker with the school sign that's in blue and yellow. That's why the colors of the school are blue and yellow. So it's also kind of support for Ukraine. Not intentionally, but I'm happy it worked out that way. We have the big window. This might change, but I'm pretty happy with it. The front of the main display. You have skylights looking down, inside. The elevator shaft, you can use this to lift the elevator up and down and navigate through the floors. And then we have the back, which is actually another street. So there'll be buildings lined up on the front and back of this. This would be another street with another sidewalk. And there'd be the playground. All the kids are playing. And you have a minder and the janitor, and there's a little security guard, and all the kids swinging and sandbox and jump rope and basketball. And there'd be another Lego building here, another modular building here, so that this fence would have a wall here by virtue of that other building being there. And so there's the school. All right, could you hear me on any of that? I was trying to kind of shout while I was walking. I have no idea what picked up. I apologize if that was a silent monologue, but that was the school. That's how I've come with it. And I'm pretty happy at how it's come together. One thing I was mentioning, again, I don't know if you could hear me, but there is the playground in the back there. Hey Torvin, awesome, I'm glad. I hope I'm okay now that it's balancing well, but it's nice if you could obviously hear me while I was walking around too. So I mentioned on the back of the building, there's the playground and how there's an empty wall, like there's an empty spot there, right? There's no fence there. So the ball can get out and the kids can get out. Not very safe. But when another modular building is up next to it, that will be the side of the building. And so it will be a nice bounce off kind of situation with the basketball and the fence closed. Let me show you by taking one of the buildings I have behind me. I'll put it over here beside it. I think I have the thin one I think will fit next to it. So we'll try this out. So this is an in-progress corner modular, which I started a long time ago. I did the exterior and I just never did the interior, so I need to finish it. Oh, you don't need to turn it that way, that way. So it's a little Japanese restaurant, sushi restaurant with offices above and then 2 floors of dining below. And it's a corner modular, so obviously the sidewalk can go around. You can combine it in other different ways with other different buildings, and it's very dusty. So I'm going to put this next to the school just so you can see how other buildings work with the modular system, how it can line up with it. So again, I'm going to walk around. I'm going to put this over there, and then I'm going to walk around so you'll see it from the other side. But we'll slide this sucker in. The sound effects, as always, super important. All right. And now we'll walk around. And there we go. The building nicely comes up against the back of the school, and even if the building ended short, it would end up short next to the stairs if it was a building with a backyard. So it still would close off the school courtyard. And you can see how the sidewalks nicely line up. And you can have modular buildings that go next to each other and create a whole connected town. And you can have another corner back here, and you go around the corner, and you have a whole end of a block. So, here we go. Yo. So that's the deal. How they fit together and how it kind of creates a little courtyard back there while still matching up and meeting the street of your future Lego town. And I think I mentioned this before, but a group I'm in, we often do big Lego displays at events. So one of them, let me go back here to give you an idea of what it is like when I say we have events. I know I showed this before, but just in case anyone's new, the biggest event we used to do was at the Stanford Museum and Nature Center, and I love that. I'd love to do that again. I know it's been difficult to arrange it, but this is that kind of thing, a display that had some nice depth to it. It had lots of different sections, but one of the sections was town, and so you would be able to have a series of streets and blocks, and you have trains and cars and all that kind of good stuff running around it. And a lot of these are mine, not all of them, which is the nice part about modulars, because you can fit other people's modulars together, and as long as you build to the same standard, all of your buildings will fit. So mine, 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 not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine, mine. Like all down the row. Mine, mine, not mine, not mine, mine, not mine, not mine, mine, not mine. Yeah, like all that. It's kind of nice. And we can create these different towns and different displays every time we do a show, because we bring in different buildings and combine them in different ways. And so I love that. And so that's the kind of thing I have in mind whenever I build these things, is how will it fit into that future town that I want. And in this case, with the school I'm building, basically it would go in the middle of the block, and it would have the sidewalk on both sides of the streets, because it goes all the way through. The school goes basically all the way through the block from one side to the other. And so in that future dream basement of mine, this Lego city will be there. And I have at least one friend who offered their basement for Lego storage. I still want the Lego display to be in a nicer basement of my own. Or, I say basement, walk-in basement, detached building, whatever it is, in that glorious dream future, right, that we can all imagine for ourselves. Okay, so there's the exterior. You got to see how it all came together, and the progress I made on the exterior. The interior is still largely incomplete, and so that is what I want to do with you. I want to fill out the school. I want to make it real. This is the kind of thing that I want to do better at planning. I have done it sometimes. The school bus is an example of being very well planned. All of my hopes to do planning today got completely destroyed by work, followed by an hour and a half of nothing working on my computer before I could finally get it to work here. So that didn't happen. That being said, there are a few specific things I want to do that I feel pretty confident I can burn right through, so you won't be sitting watching me stare dazedly for too long. A little bit. There's always a little bit of dazed staring, but not a lot of dazed staring. I'm going to have another sip of Moscato, which is crazy sweet. Ooh. And that's me saying that. I love sweet drinks, but this thing, a little much. I'm still gonna drink it. Okay, let's build. I'm going to put that camera on so you can watch me. I'm going to start to disassemble parts of the school, and that'll be kind of cool too. You can see how the roof comes off and things like that. And then I'll bring over a section of it right here, and we'll build together. Here we go. All right. All right, sorry, little people. I said just now I pull it all apart, and I will, but I did want to briefly show off some of these kids because I was kind of proud of the little people I put together. So I did assemble all of the minifigures, and there's obviously even more in the backyard. But it was fun to do all the different little kids. So there's the camera. I need a. I think I might have a zoom mode. Let me see if I've already set that up. Where is my mouse? My mouse is over there. Full screen, zoom, no frame. Hey! Alright, it's grainy, I know. And way too bright. I don't know. If you didn't know if I know what I'm doing, this is a good evidence that I do not know what I'm doing. But these were fun to do. You know, maybe we'll do it this way because I can hold up straight to that camera. But I did make fun, cute little guys that I was very happy with how they came together. This is not going to focus, is it? It's going to kind of focus. Put it in front of me. Alright. Alright, this was not as fun because I can't show it off like I wanted to, but I have like the art teacher and the principal. Like as I made them, I'm like, oh, this is 100%. This is a science teacher in a Hawaiian shirt. Like this is the English teacher, very stern looking. He also does theater. Surprisingly warm, but intimidating dude. New teacher, she's still wearing a suit. But not because she wants to, but because she thinks she has to. I forget who this one. I had like all personalities. I did in all these. But you can't see, so we're gonna move on. Back to deconstructing. Cool. I've tried Moscato before and I have enjoyed it. I just don't remember like what the situation was. I feel like I must have had it paired with something, or maybe it was cold. I don't know, but it's not bad. It's just a lot. All right. Is that why nothing worked with Bonnie? Because Mercury, damn Mercury, or damn retrograde. I don't know which thing to damn in that situation, but it's not cool. All right. All right. Here's the camera that doesn't work. Black screen. All right, back. All right. I hope too much of that wasn't just staring at my back while I did things, but I hope you can maybe see there is a little pile of roof pieces now that I just took off. So these are all the different little sections of roofing? Okay, I should know that, but we're going to skip past it. Here's the top of the building. And I always wanted to show you up close some of this because it took for frickin' ever. And this is also why there are well over 1,000 little pieces just making up the top of the roof here. So this little section here, which lifts out, it's a little fragile. It has these little things to kind of hold it together, but it's less sturdy than the other ones because I put these sunlights in there. But if you can see, every one of those little things is what's called a cheese wedge, because it's sort of a shape of a little wedge, and some of them are yellow, and so they look like pieces of cheese. But the cheese wedge is all these dark green pieces that give it kind of a tiled, textured roof effect. You can kind of see it end on there. So it's really cool looking. Like, I love how it looks, but not fun to assemble at all. It took forever. Yeah, but this is a little top. You can see there's a little couple separations in here where that's over top of the stairwell coming up. This is over top of the principal's office. This is over top of a little central hallway that leads off to a couple classrooms and offices. I don't know what I'll put on here, but there'll be some kind of display, clock, billboard, banner, something that will be there for some school spirit. There's even roof access through the one of the skylights. But this I can put back on since it comes off and there's nothing inside that, and we can go down. I can show you down into the top of the building. Right. So here's the building with the roof off. You can see all the work there is still to do to fill all this in. This will be one big classroom over here. I think this will be the art room. That bigger room over there, that will be band. There's a little hallway kind of in front here where I just started putting a few floor pieces. There's a janitor's closet, the elevator, the door to, I guess, the vice principal's office. Here's the principal's office. There's stairwell going down, and this will be the nurse's office right there. So quite a few little things up there on the third floor. I'm gonna plug this phone in just to make sure maybe it won't die. And we'll continue to pull off some floors. I wanna get down, I think, to the first floor. I wanna finish out the first floor and then we'll build up from there. That's my theory. I'll do another little tour so you can see how the building is coming together as we go down. It's a terrible angle of me. All right. Here's the second floor. I was really happy over here. I have a bathrooms with 2 stalls. One is larger, so there's like handicapped access stall and then regular stall, and then sinks over here. Little mirror and fountain, or faucet. All the bathrooms are, of course, any gender, but that's necessary for a school. And then we have the hallway with classrooms. I forget what classrooms these are. There's numbers on the door, but we'll see on the side. This will be a science room, so there's a couple little science things over there, some cabinets, the blackboard, another school of unknown type here, or classroom of unknown type. You got some lockers. Got the foyer. You can see these little school colors down inlaid into the floor on the ground floor. The trophy case, which we did, I think, last stream. Put together our trophy case there in the hall, going up to the top floor. This is, the upper one is a janitor's closet. I don't know what this one is. Some other little room. We'll figure that one out. Me, the guidance counselor. And then you have 2 classrooms back here. So that's classroom 5 and 6, I think. Yeah, okay, so 5, 6, 3, and 4, or 3 and 4. I forget what order they want, but we got 2 classrooms on the top floor, 4 classrooms on this floor, and a little hallway overlooking the courtyard and the playground. All right, deconstruction continues. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Great. Now we're down to the ground floor. And so I can show you what we'll polish off here. And then we can move up from there, depending on how fast we go. But I'll show you a little aerial just all pulled together, and then I'll pull it apart and we'll actually dive into it. But here is that ground floor with the one classroom that we started to populate. Maybe I'll put something on the teacher's desk and something on the back, but I think largely that's pretty close to done. We got our hallway, our fire exit. I forgot to point out there's water fountains in the hallway. We have another classroom, which is started but not finished. We have the main entry hall, which has like I said, the inlaid floor. There's a little bulletin board, door to the any gender bathroom, which has 3 stalls, including one handicapped one, and a bigger sink area. Oh, that's better lighting. So you can see the bathroom. There's the elevator with the elevator actually in it. That little nook will have some vending machines. We have the cafeteria line. The cafeteria, that will be an admin office. That obviously that's something you can do even tonight. Down under there, which will be easier to see when it's pulled apart, is going to be the library. A really tiny library. And then here is the playground with the kids playing. So let's pull it apart and start building. Put this back. We'll try this to give this a shot. There's words. So I'm going to try to work on this sucker, which is the ground floor. It's the remainder of the cafeteria. Come on, camera. Focus, focus. I thought I fixed this last time. All right, there we go. The ground floor with the cafeteria. Has a little kitchen there, which I'm kind of proud of the floor. I know it's tough to see, but I'm also really happy with the kitchen. Like you can see there's a little stove and a little hood, and there's like milk on the counter and bowls and stuff, and a little fridge in the corner. There's hot dogs ready to go. A couple tables and counters, the 3 kinds of trash. So we can maybe finish off this bit, put the admin office in, as well as some vending machines, fill in the floor, and this section of the ground floor will be finito, which will be pretty nice. You froze out. I do need a lunch lady. Holy cow! Of course I need a lunch lady. All right, you were starting to lose me with the nunsman, Vonnie, but you got me back with the lunch lady. That is solid. That is solid. I will absolutely have a lunch lady. Yeah, think about that. Not how to do it, but just like what kind of pieces I have, or minifigure pieces I have to make a good looking lunch lady. Excuse, Miss Gatto, man. Okay. Okay. So, how am I gonna build this out? All right, this wall will be tan. Maybe I put something on this side of it for the lunch, like another little billboard or something. That'd probably be a nice touch, right? And then this will be an office. The door is right here. No, where's the door? The door is right here, right smack dab in the middle. So I'm looking over at the other half of this. Let me get the other half of the floor. So there's these little pins here you can see to hold it together because it's a little bit sturdy. But so the front wall of the office is actually attached to this base plate, and it pulls apart, which oddly enough will make it much easier to decorate this, since I don't have to like try to reach down into this little space, this whole side open. And so you can see when it's together, there's the door to the office. So I want to make sure that I leave room for people to come in, and what will they do on either side. So I think this will be the kind of waiting area, and this will be a little desk counter, and then the admin officer and like the parents or the truant students who are waiting to be sent up to the principal's office or something, they'll sit there. So that's how I'll go to it. All right. And just check in, everyone cool? Things good? Can you hear me? You can see you okay? I hope so. I hope you are relaxing, having a drink if you're someone who imbibes, and no worries if you're not. That's also wonderful. Having a Diet Coke. All right, but awesome. Thank you, Ashley. All right, cool. So I keep pausing because I'm just trying to think through. Okay, I'm going to get some brown pieces for the counter, get some dark brown for the floor, get tan pieces for the wall. Yeah, I feel good about this. Break. Tan pieces for the wall. Brown pieces for the floor and the furniture. Nah. Sorry, I know you're just watching my back, but I'm pulling out something here. Alright, here's a bag of containers. I'm going to pull out some of them to use as some of the shelving, which is kind of a neat little effect. So these little container crates have this kind of like little inset surface to them, which actually looks almost like wood paneling when it's used as cabinetry or things like that. So that's what I have back here, and that's what I'll use for the counter too. I'll put the wall around it, or the floor around it. I need at least one more. Aha. Some cabinets, I'll put those high up. All right, all right. Cool. I had put out some other brown pieces, so I just pull these over in case they're useful. Wow, it gets warm. It's crazy warm. All these lights on. Definitely heats up the room. My office does not have great ventilation to the rest of the apartment, so it is sometimes easy for the temperatures to build up in here, which is my bad probably for where I decided to put my office, but that's another deal entirely. This is supposed to be the main bedroom, but it's the second biggest room in the apartment, and I didn't want to waste that on a place for I'm to sleep. I want that to be office Lego room, so office Lego room it became. Thank you, Charlie. Okay, so we said the door is right here. 1, 2, 3 in. Okay. So this is the edge of the door. You'll like walk in and the counter will be immediately on your left. So we'll have some chairs over here in the waiting area. Then counter, stern, person behind the counter, and then this little thing will be a shelf with like papers and things on it. Yeah, so that's what we'll build. That's what we'll put together. All right. I started putting some things on the side here. There's like, I know it's so bright it's hard to see, but there's this little white piece kind of paper sitting on the counter, and then this little piece has ridges on it, so you can kind of see that in the shadow there. So it almost looks like folded sheets of paper stacked up, so it's kind of a little effect there to make it look like the there's papers stacked on the shelf and fill things in. And I can put a brown piece across like like it is a shelf, and then put more things on top of it and kind of fill up that shelf. Now up here, there's some dark red, which is the edge of, it's hiding the curve of the library, so it needs to be dark red on the outside. But on the inside, we can do other things, as well as put things underneath here and click into it. So we'll see what happens when we get there. I'm pondering putting like these little drawers, these little empty things that can have drawers or doors put on them. I'm pondering putting that there, so it can like fill in the cabinetry, make it whole deal. That's English, right? Whole deal. I'm just babbling words now. Okay, get some more pieces. Alrighty. So, alright, as usual, I'm gonna, let me know if this is too much. I'm gonna try to turn on my AC. Hopefully with the gain of my mic, you won't hear, or at least you'll just hear a mild rushing. But if it's too much, let me know. I just want to be a little bit cooler if I can. And of course, they serve tater tots, Yabani, and they are the best things that you will ever remember, and you will never taste the same again as you get older. And it will be a nostalgic and kind of sad part of life. Wait, I got dark. I'm sorry. Let's see if this works. Alexa, turn on desk AC. No, it didn't do anything. Well, sorry if I made something happen in your apartment, but it didn't happen over here. Nothing ever works. Alexa, turn on work AC. I had the wrong name. I had an old name. Alright, let me know, again, if this is too much. Man, why won't this go together? Alright. Oh, it feels better. This will be tough for the summer. Alright. Apparently these pieces are impossible to fit together. Oh, holy cow. There we go. Goodness. Alright. That was way too difficult. Alright. There. Just adding things that will add kind of depth to it. I'll show it. I'll lean it up so you can see it in a second. Oh, jeez. All right. That's one way to do it. Rip off the whole wall. All right. Nice. I feel good about that. All right. So you can make it out. There is. There is. I think you can see it. The kind of the back of the shelf there, and I put those little bits of white there to give like different little bits of texture, like different sheets are sticking out at different levels and angles and stuff. If it wasn't so bright, you could hopefully see it a little bit better. But I think that works well, and I'm just gonna keep saying left and right. Okay, got that there. I want on top. So go right up to the wall so no one will see it. So I might as well just continue dark red. All right. My bin of dark red. This is not a good way to sort your Legos. It's a pretty way to sort your Legos, but it is very difficult to find things this way. But I started it ages ago, and I'm way too lazy to sort an entire closet of unsorted Lego, let alone redo this sorting, so I just live with it. I say that like it's such a pain to live with huge amounts of Lego. It's a wonderful thing, but it's also not a well-organized thing. Alright. I don't know if that makes sense, but it will fit. Well, that's the real standard, right? Will it fit? Be a wrap on dark red. Put this here. Ooh. Let's try something out here. Do I have any 1x6 tiles? Why would I have that? That's way too easy. Darn it. I had a great idea, and now I don't think I have the pieces. Huh. Let's try tan. This is an experiment, just to see how it looks, but I put these little headlight pieces on. Since there's a slope there, maybe the headlight piece will fit. Oh, it's like a little built-in. I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know that anyone actually should rationally be excited about what I'm excited about, but that was cool. I got it to fit like I wanted it to. And it looks nice, and that's cool. Let me find a little gray tile. Finish off that wall. Sweet. All right. Do a little dark tan on the countertops. We'll make these face the same way. Ooh, I can do... Oh, I forgot to ask, just to check in. One, yes, all the part colors absolutely must match. This is no, indulge your nephew. Oh yeah, that's a nice thing, but it's a whole crazy clown car of colors. This is, we're doing official here. That was way too harsh. Yes, all the colors and parts must match. But two, Midvani, you said, oh, it hurts my ears so loud. Is it so loud? Because I'm used to all of my sound being awful because I don't know what I'm doing. And so I don't easily read that if it was sarcasm. Well, as long as I'm a model that you can hear, that's the important thing. If you genuinely can't hear, let me know and I will turn it off. I can make do. Okay. Got the basics of the floor worked out there. I'm going to put in some floor pieces and then we'll do the wall and the admin office will be done. Just as long as you are screwing with me, I'm always genuinely worried that it is too loud. So let me know if it is. That's totally cool to screw with me. Um, that was a risky thing to say. It's not okay to ever screw with me. um, what was I looking for? The floor pieces. Dark brown tile. No, these are dark brown pieces. Dark brown tile. I don't know why, but I have an absolutely insane number of these 1x4 dark brown tiles. Like, this is one of a couple bags this size just of this tile, which is kind of a beautiful thing because it's a lovely color. I think it looks great as a floor, and I don't have to really ever worry about running out. I can just have wood floors everywhere, and everyone's just a style maven with the very best flooring that there is to have. All right, so for this, let's have 1x2s. All right. And we will fill this in. All right, this is 6, this is 3, so that's going to be a little bit hidden, a little awkwardly sized, and then this we can do a nice little pattern between it, and then I'll figure out places where I can attach the chairs over on this side. So where's some chairs? I want 2 chairs side by side. And I want space, I want to maximize space. So I probably want them like off center, like on that stud and on that stud. Hee stud. All right. All right. Did I get that right? No, I want that centered. Damn it. All right. Mess that up. Ah. Sorry, I just saw the amazing fans joke. That is next level. Oh, darn it. All right, something that seems to be not only a problem, but over time an increasing problem is that some of the brown pieces, whatever was used in the mixture of ingredients to make this color, the pieces seem really fragile. They break super easily. Usually it's a problem with reddish brown. I haven't really experienced it too much with dark brown, but that piece just shattered when I tried to pull it out. So that keeps it fun. All right. Do that. Yeah. Go down. Go down. Oh. Or fly off into I don't know where. Alright, it's the exact same problem. Go straight down. Alright. Oh, that one broke too. Alright, it's gonna be behind the chair. No. Okay. We're going to put this little piece in there, and then this will go on top, and you won't even see it. And look, chair is just floating nicely in the middle of the floor. And then we'll do another one on top of that stud, and it will also float, but there'll be room on all sides of all chairs, and it will look glorious. Downright glorious. All right, now, so it's actually there. There. Oh. All right, we'll try something out. We're gonna experiment on the fly. It could go horribly wrong, but no one cares because it's just Lego. You care though. You care. All right. My Fitbit is telling me to go to bed, apparently. Didn't know I had a bossy little Fitbit there. All right. Here will be our little person behind the counter receiving parents or terrifying young children before they are sent to the principal's office. Here's the chair, and boom! We'll have a wall to do, but that's still pretty close to a solid interior. All set there. Hey, Heaven's Bingus. Hi, Rich. Does your Fitbit know who you are? First of all, awesome fonts with the hello friends there. And no, clearly it doesn't. Neither do I, because I think I told the Fitbit to do that, like to tell it to try and get me to go to bed. Which was, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. That's just insane. I don't go to bed that early. But silly other me thought, oh, let's train in good habits. Clearly that just didn't ever realistically happen. All right, I just popped that off accidentally. Shoot, how did I do that? All right, we'll just wedge it in there for now. We'll figure that one out later. Okay. So, the wall. So this back wall here, I don't want it to be too boring. So the question is, what can I do with it to add features and decoration to it? All right, we will add things all around to mount onto the wall. That's what we'll do. This wall will have something around there in the middle. Yeah. Do I want something on both sides? Might as well. All right. So I need 1 by 2. All right. All right, so what I did there was build up so there's studs on that side to put something on and studs on that side to put something on. And both rooms can have a little wall decoration there. Children's artwork will be in other art rooms. But yeah, that kind of thing. Now I don't necessarily have signs like that, but we'll see what I can cobble together. But yeah, it'll be like that, or a place for bulletin boards or notices. You're on the right track though, Midvani. Aha. Future me planned ahead. All right. Past me planned ahead. There. That'll work. I'm gonna need so many more pieces. Whoa. There is a gum that can make you succeed in all video games. I need that desperately. Sorry, that was great with Bonnie. Comment out on Twitch streams. Interesting. It's not too low. I think that's too low. No, it's fine. We'll leave it there. Quick U-turn in the brain pan on how to do this. Clearly I did not count right in what pieces I need. I'm also running out of some shapes of some pieces, so I'm kind of taking whatever's easiest and fastest, so all of you don't have to stare forever at me doing this. But I guess that's kind of the whole point of this. Here we go. Boom. All right, that is pretty solid. Now, I can take these to kind of cap things off. 4, 6. So this is some of the printed plates I've found. They're not all of them, but they're some of the ones I've at least been able to pull together into one space. So as I find them, I try to throw them in here. And so let's see if there are things that make sense for this room. We can have a map. That's, a little pirate picture. Ooh, what's that? I don't know what that is. It's like a volcano and a tower and a bird. We'll pull that out. It's music. I'll say that for the music room. Need some newspapers, right? We'll have a little school written up in the paper. That could be something cool on the wall. Okay, so we'll put a little ship picture on the wall there. Whoop. We'll put this little volcano thingy-mabobber right there. So a teacher can have something to look at. Maybe it's a TV. I don't know. Maybe it's a TV. All right, out here, I feel like we can do something different. We can do something more interesting. So the eyes go. I don't think we want a radioactive sign. There's a street sign. Hazardous waste. I have a lot more serious signs than I do have playful signs. These are all food related. Huh. There's not a wide spectrum of pieces here to choose from. Unfortunately. City, airport, Great West, the number 2. These are very random. The Batman sign, the number 1. What is all this stuff? Alright. Huh. It's like a little artwork. I'm gonna put the random scary Rorschach artwork out here. Sure. Boom. Alright, we'll put the newspapers on the other wall. And make it part of a thing. Come out of June's trend. What? It is gently wafting from an AC unit. I mean, the window's open, but nothing's happening with the window, so that's why I turned on the AC. Because yay, environment. Alright. Seriously, though, the world's burning. I don't laugh at that. This is my random macabre interjection there. Alright. We'll have a board with some framed news stories about the school. And we will put that... Sorry, my eyes are going on me. Alright. Once again, I'm going with expedience. Because I'm conscious I didn't plan this, and you're just watching me. And my back as I look for pieces. So we're going to make this little knobby wood frame, and then we can always change that at a later date, which won't happen realistically, but I'm going to say that to leave open the option. Oh yeah. Okay, so cafeteria, creepy picture on the wall. Then side thing, bulletin board of news information over top of the trash cans. Then admin office with random stuff on the walls and paper in the back. And clipped together with this, and you have a pretty nice little first floor. Obviously there's still a little gap there, which we will get to, but I feel pretty decent just having polished off this bit. So we have the bathroom, which is finished because I knew that was tight, so I just did that before. But I was proud. I have these like little delicate walls and doors that actually do open for the accessible stall, and then 2 smaller stalls and sinks. That's kind of cool. In the any gender bathroom, we got the school colors and a little decal there. Clock. There'll be a place for a banner here in the school colors. There's little benches underneath the stairwell, which you can't quite see. So someone can wait on that bench outside the office as well as inside the office. And then that just links up nicely with that to create a nice little space in the middle. So we'll do a little nook for vending machines and we should be good. Now before I go further though, I'm going to quickly put the second floor on top of this just to make sure that this wall doesn't interfere with the floor going on top of it. So let's try that. The trophy case is on the second floor, right here above the bathroom. So as you come up the stairs, you walk around, and it's here on this wall, the second floor. Hey, it's Amy. Welcome, welcome. Sorry I didn't see you before. Thank you for coming in and seeing the school construction as it continues. We just put together the admin office off of the cafeteria and front hall here. And put some vending machines over in the corner, and let's make sure that this can still sit on top of it now that I built that office. Oh, look at that. Nice and smooth. That is perfect. Oh, and I'll show you the trophy case. So this part was a little bit funky, if you recall, because this whole front entrance here is this whole solid gray thing because there's this recess into the door, and so it's higher than the floor. But I didn't want the whole floor to be higher, so I just had that come up, and then above it, I had a little notch in this floor so it could sit on top of that and still keep the rest of the floor level. So that goes over top of that and slides down in. You can see the stairs kind of go right down underneath there. These stairs go right down on top of there. And that's the trophy case. Right there. Next to the elevator shaft and what will be classroom 5, classroom 6, room, and the back end of classroom 4. All right, so vending machines. I'm touring because I feel like I can probably do a more interesting job of vending machines if I have more time to plan. Since I didn't plan, I'm thinking instead I might do something else here. The teacher's lounge. Didn't think about teacher's lounge. It's a great question. I would of course like to do something big and huge and fun. But I'm thinking, because this is such a small school, I had to do a chaser after the Moscato, apparently. And I don't want it to be... I don't want to give up a classroom. I actually am proud of the fact that I managed to squeeze 8 classrooms into this building. So maybe this is the teacher break room. It's not necessarily the teacher's lounge. You know, maybe I can put a couch in there. But it'll be like a little like kitchenette and a couple table and chairs. It'll be a depressing, tiny teacher's lounge. And that might be appropriate. That might be right for our current state of education, right? And it's all about the realism. I like that. That's a good use of that room, since I built it as a janitor's closet and I built another janitor's closet on the floor above, so this is not need to be that anymore. And that'd be a very large janitor's closet. I like that. All right. That is now the teacher's lounge. That's what will go there. I'm thinking, instead of doing the vending machines, I'm going to instead work on another classroom and maybe the library on the ground floor. And that maybe we'll close this out for tonight, because I have a stronger sense of what I want to do there, and I don't want to waste your time. Okay, let me move this out of the way and come back with that other section. All the kids got destroyed on the playground. They just got knocked everywhere. Bowling ball kids. Security guard took a nosedive onto the floor. The friendly retired gentleman serving as security guard. You can see him. Glasses. I don't know why I had the glasses. I just knew you could maybe see the figure there. All the kids just wiped out on the lot. Oddly, the basketball kids are standing up just fine. Little girl listening to music in the corner. Eyes are closed as she's zoning out. It's so bright. I need to work on this. I need to figure this out. Alright. I say that every time, and I always forget every time. And then you always put up with this every time. So thank you for putting up with it. Okay. So we got the swings, there's a yellow one and a blue one in the school colors. Sandbox. I'm very happy with how that came out. Pull it apart here. This little... Oh goodness. Alright. Yeah, they're just gonna let them dump out. That's gonna be the library. Like there'll be a couple, I think, computer desks here and there, and maybe like light reading tables. Not a big library. And then the back of this little inset behind the lockers here is going to be where one wall of books will go. So we built actually into this wall and then slides up against that, and then boom, there's a shelf of books suddenly in the library. The dot doesn't take up space in the library, which I think is a cool innovation I am proud of. And then we can do some of this classroom here too. So I am going to work on the bookshelf that will go in here. Okay, so how do I want to do that? I have the brown, which I will lift up a little bit. I'll take out the dark brown and get us down to the reddish brown. So you can see, oh, you can't see. You can see reddish brown. So healthy dose to build the frame of the bookshelf and some of the shelves, and then I'll get some other little 1x2 plates to be the books, and I'll put them on their side, and it'll be cool. You'll see. So I'm gonna just pull out some pieces now to assemble that. Yeah. Cleanup is always fun after this. This is true after any building session. It's not like I'm neater when you're not here. Ooh. Yeah, alright. That'll work. I like that. So I found one arch. Oh, perfect. Second arch. Sweet. Okay. On the sides. We're going to do a little experiment in here to see what will fit together well. I'm going to need to get some studs out of here, which have things on top and on the side, so I can attach some pieces to the side of it and create a vertical line of books out of plates. If I need to like test out some things to figure out the right height. Maybe top file. No comment. No comment. Friends' kids could also be watching. It's not like you were even going dirty. Why did I go there? Alright, now this is sometimes a challenge. Nope, that's not right. I need a particular kind of piece. So there's this headlight piece. that has this little notch in it. You can see it's like indented a little bit. There's a little lip at the bottom. I don't want that. I want a piece that's flush to the side. You can see, I can't figure out how to orient my hands. Flush to it, not indented. You can see the difference. The challenge is I want that in brown, and I don't necessarily see that. Probably because it's a popular color in my building and I use it a lot. Let's see if we can't round one up somewhere. Goodness. That did not make it easier to find. Oh! Oh! Did I just... Oh, come on. Come on. Be the piece I believe you can be. Oh! Alright, I need like 7 more of those, but still, that was huge. Found at least one. We can start this and get a sense of how it will work. And you know what? I may be able to make it work for the whole thing. It won't be very strong, but it will work. But ideally, I can find some more. There's another color. It's not quite brown, but maybe it will suffice if I push and shoving come to brawling. That's something too. I could fake it. I could make it look smaller. Oh, that might be easier. I'm just gonna talk to myself. You can guess what I mean. Huh. This might work. This might work. Alright, I have a new thought. We're gonna come back to it though. First, I'm going to get a whole bunch. I'm gonna just bring over a whole bin of 1x2 tiles. I'm also gonna get a 1x1 tangent. Long hair does not make searching easier. Alright, good start. The reason I just got all of this is that these are going to be our books. And you will see how in a moment. First, I'm going to get some different colors that contrast nicely, and I'm going to start sticking them together. And it's going to be cool. And you'll be like, oh, I get it. Not like right away, but in a second. Unless you've done this before, in which case you already know what I'm doing. And all of this subterfuge is for naught. All right. Try this out. Sorry, I'm gonna move this so you can see better. What I'm doing is building a little base here, a little baseboard. And then with that side mounted piece, I can put these tiles on their side and then I can attach it here. Oh, and I forgot, I'm gonna put a couple round pieces on the side, like for the edge of the shelf. Oh, that's not brown, that is dark gray. Maybe it doesn't have to be that thick. We'll find out. We'll find out. All of a sudden, boom, the edge of the shelf and some of the books on the shelf. That is a solid suggestion and reference, Midvani, as always. And maybe one day I'll get to the point where I'm happy pulling my hair back. I just don't always love how it looks. Which is mostly about hairline stuff. As those of you who might happen to also be trans might know, if you are especially a trans femme and care about that, which you don't have to care about, but sometimes we do, or sometimes it causes dysphoria. And while I don't have a ton, I can say that does do it for me. I just realized something. I was going to talk about stuff that I completely forgot to talk about until just now. It is almost Pride Month, and a lot has been going on. That's actually a chunk of why I was busy at work, which is a good thing to be busy for. I was frustrated because I was behind where I wanted to be doing some things, but I'm helping out with comms for our global chapter of Pfizer's LGBTQ organization, as well as helping out a bit locally with our New York chapter. I'm not helping out a lot. I'm not very good at it, and I'm actually been very self-conscious in expressing my concern that I'm not pulling my weight on that front. Because I'm not a good event planner. That might shock you. I know, I think at least Ashley's in the chat, maybe Jessica is or was. They know I'm incredibly good at planning. So I know it would come as a complete shock for me to say that I'm not a good planner, but I'm not. It's not my forte. And I have not been doing a great job, and I'm conscious of that. I forget. I had a reason that wasn't just me whining about myself as I started this. The reason I say all that is, while there's some frustrations and some trials and tribulations as I work out the kinks of what it means to be productive on that front, there are also a lot of awesome things too. And some of those awesome things have been happening quite recently, and I've been blessed to get to be a part and go to some of them. So one example was I got to go to the Human Rights Campaign Gala a couple weekends ago, which was a lot of fun. I was blessed to have Gotham City Girl in the chat with me. She came as my +1. And I think we had fun up until the last minute, which I'll explain. But the event was really cool. Let me find some tiles and keep going. So the event, if you're not familiar with the Human Rights Campaign, it is effectively like a version of a PAC. They're basically a political movement, and their focus is on working with political leaders or different other campaigns to get politicians motivated, on board, organized, or even at times opposed, with the goal of advancing LGBTQ rights and priorities. And so it's a cool organization. It's had critiques in the past, often rightly so, for a variety of different reasons, but I feel like it has been doing hard work to try to stay on top. And so I continue to be pleased to be a part of it. And like many companies, Pfizer is connected to them. We donate. And by the way, as I talk about all this is obviously from me as a perspective of a colleague. I don't want to represent the company. That's not my job. This is just sharing my own personal insights of what I'm pleased to be a part of there. All that's to say, so it has been a fascinating time going to those things. And so I've been lucky enough to go on the as part of the sort of the company delegation to attend some of these things, and that is a really wild ride. So those events have all kinds of different speakers. Sometimes they're entertainers, sometimes they're politicians. It was very much both in this case. We got to see Senator Chuck Schumer speak, as well as Governor Hochul. We had a variety of performers, which I was very excited to see. So if any of you who watch Supergirl on the CW, crazy cheesy in a variety of ways. I still enjoyed it. It was still sweet. And one of the speakers was Nicole Maines, who plays Dreamer, the first trans superhero on television, I believe, and not just a trans person playing playing a role, but the role itself was trans. The Dreamer was canonically trans in the show, which is really cool and neat exploration. And they definitely did a good job of touching on what that could mean. So I was excited just to see someone who I saw. I'm like, oh, I know Dreamer. I was yelling, and it's Nicole. Nicole was a really good speaker and has done a lot of other amazing things in her life. But I definitely was shouting "Yay, Dreamer" as she walked up on stage. So that was cool. We also had Ian Alexander from Discovery, and that was really cool to see him. And I believe he said it was he/they. I hope I'm not getting them wrong. I know as a mask-leaning person in the trans community, as he described himself. But that was great to see them speak, and we had Titus Burgess, who from Netflix, Kimmy Schmidt, the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, introducing the Queen from Bridgerton, who was the last speaker. So that was great. And then Jessie J got on stage and performed and walked through the crowd and said hi to me, like from 2 feet away. That was pretty cool. So it was a pretty awesome event. I need to also find pieces, so I'm building and talking. Didn't do that. I was saying during all of it, they also had a silent auction, and I do enjoy silent auctions, I've discovered, and so I joined in. None of those are the piece I want. Okay, there's at least tan in here. I can do some stuff with tan. So, I did bid on some things. I bid on some things at the start, and not much happened with them. And then, at one point, I kind of checked in. I'm like, oh, I'll go take a look and see what else is maybe being bid on. And in particular, as the bidding was about to close, I went and saw things that had no bid. I went for what were items that no one had put anything down on, and I thought, hey, why not? And I bid on some stuff, and I won all that stuff, and that was cool. It was also a fair number of things. I got a great deal on them, which tends to be the case. So all the money, the items are donated, so the money all goes to the pack, while I get the items at a discount if no one bids them up. And obviously, if people bid it up, that's good too, because it's still just more money for the organization. But in this scenario, I made out. I got some decent deals, and I ended up with a fairly enormous amount of bottles of things to drink. So it was ostensibly. I also had a beach package, which was like an HRC mug, a blanket, and I don't even remember what else, like 2 other little things. That was a small thing. That was a neat thing, but not a burdensome thing. But as we were walking to the auction checkout, after dinner, before the DJ, I'm like, oh, well, we'll stop by, just check in. I'll give them my address. They can ship them there. And that's when we discovered, no, they're not shipping things. And the other 2 baskets I had won, other 2 lots I had won, one was 2 giant wicker baskets full of things, and they were the random things, like a t-shirt for a rum and a whole bunch of Cake Bites gear. I got 4 packages of different flavors of Cake Bites, a Cake Bites hat, 2 Cake Bites cups. I got a glass that has a cutout for a cigar, so you can hold the cigar and the glass and drink your whiskey and smoke your cigar with one hand. There was like some other random things, but also 2 giant bottles of Stolichnaya Elite, which are like this big. There was in the other basket, and there was still like 5 bottles of wine, and then the other basket had 8 bottles. I ended up with 15 bottles of wine, 2 bottles of vodka, and all this extra stuff. And we had to carry it home right then. Ashley was not happy with me. Rightly so. right. I know this is about building. I know there's not a huge amount of time left, but we're going to take a brief sojourn, and I'm going to show you the wine craziness that built up. Apparently this. Oh well, if this camera's. Nope, I'm not. I'm not going to do that because the mobile camera died. If that was working, if the Mevo was working, I would be so sad. I need to get that thing working again. Because that sucker does not die in 4.5 seconds. Like my old iPhone does. Alright, never mind. I'll share pictures. You know what? I'm going to put pictures of it in the Builders Block chat on the Transverse Discord. So if you're not in there, now you already had good reasons to be. You just didn't know it. Now you really have good reasons to be, because you can see the giant amount of alcohol I'm talking about. I will post pictures in the Discord, so if you want to see it, that's where you gotta go. Alright, Alexa, turn off work AC. It did its job. The hair blowing in the breeze will briefly stop, because we can be a little clear now. So there's the Discord link in the chat. Thank you very much. Check it out, and after this, I will post some pictures of the inordinate amount of alcohol I accidentally found myself having to physically carry home. And thank you again, Ashley, for helping. All right, so we've gotten pretty good progress. You didn't quite see it here, but here is the bottom shelf. And so this is going to go on top of it as one shelf. And then we'll do another shelf. And ideally, I want this to be brown. The problem is on the ends here, it had to physically attach here, and there's nothing to attach on here. So I was either going to have the brown shoot out past it. I don't know. It just felt a little bit weird. So instead I decided it's going to be kind of built into the wall. And maybe I'll put another tan underneath here. We'll see how high I can fit the next level, if it will go in there or not. Which it might not, actually. Shoot. All right, we're going to have to figure that one out. But I think it's a cool idea, right? You can kind of see how those tiles now became books, and that will be the bookshelf built in there. Cool. Oh, bye, Amy. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and have a lovely and even wonderful night. All right. The fun things do continue, though, and they're not just fun. I mean, they are fun. They are also opportunities to donate and give back and connect with others in the community. On Friday, I'm going to go to something for Ali Forney. The Ali Forney Center not only provides homes to homeless... wait, am I getting this right? There's two charities I'm going to that deal with youth. I think this... Yes, it does. I think this deals with... it provides a variety of services, often to LGBTQ youth who are homeless, often because they're kicked out for being themselves. And so they provide housing services and other support. And so again, our company supports them, and so I am lucky enough to get to attend on behalf of the company, along with a few others. So I'll be doing that on Friday. There's a lot of that I find like this time of year. I think it's partly connected certainly to Pride, and that reminder that it's not just a party, it's also a struggle and an ongoing one. And we celebrate the wins, but we're reminded that there is still so far to go. And we take these moments to help each other get there. All right. So I'm just filling in some shelves, different colors, so it can look cool. I hope. All right. Live Out Loud is a youth mentorship program. That one is after. Man, there's a lot coming up. Which is awesome. It's exciting. It's also at times exhausting, which is a silly thing to say, especially when it involves people who are often suffering. A reminder of how freaking darn amazingly lucky I have it. And I hope that's something you take a moment. There's a lot of struggles I know within our community, within this family specifically, and that is valid. I never want to discount it or discount it, and I don't mean to be by saying this, but we also have some amazing joys that come. Different blessings that each of us have individually, as well as what we get in aggregate by getting to be a community with each other. And so I do say that to remind us, not only when things get especially gloomy, as they have been horrifically, legislatively of late, or as we fear judicially in the near future, there are also those bright spots, and those bright spots are us. And thank you for getting to be here and be a part of those bright spots for me tonight. It makes it all so much better. I heard that piece fall. I do not know where it went. Oh, that's not it. Oh, that fell an earlier time. Where did that piece fall? Oh, did I just step on it? I did. There it is. Alright. I don't want to step on those things later, so I try to find it in the moment. Alright. So because I have these coming from both ends, I have these little smooth tile pieces that are kind of just pushed up against each other. So it will fit together, look smooth and continuous, while not bumping into each other. So there is 2 shelves of books. And that will fit in there. Unfortunately, it will be, by the current shape, there wouldn't be enough room for the top of the shelf. Or no, maybe there would be. Hold on, let me... Oh, there is. There's just enough. Thank goodness. All right. So I can do... I thought I was going to have to cut into the ceiling above it and do all this crazy stuff to make it fit. Thank goodness I don't. Alright, it got instantly hot again. I'm like, oh, I'm getting slightly cool from this AC. I can turn it off. Nope. Feel like I'm on the verge of sweating again. And these lights aren't crazy. Alright. So lift up the whole wall a little bit so I can insert this into the wall. Oh, jeez. And then knock it all off. And then we attach. Ah, boom. Wasn't all that I envisioned. I pictured some arches and stuff, but you know what? I'm still pretty happy with it. No, keep turning around. I forget which way the cameras are facing. There is the wall. Books built, boom, right flush in there. And so now, when I have this library here, you can see that one just goes boom right in there. And all of a sudden, there are books in the library. Yay! And then I can fill in the library a little bit. I can put some computer desks on either end and maybe some low bookshelves in the middle. And it's going to be nice. It's going to be a solid little display. All right. We didn't get quite as far as I imagined, though I think that's my fault because I also delayed and I talked and I couldn't talk and search at the same time. But those are skills to learn in time, right? I think now as we approach 11 o'clock, I'm going to instead wind back down with a little chat with y'all. I know that we still have 10 minutes, 9 minutes left. But before, rather than trying to half-heartedly build something else, I figure I can just do a little chatting closeout. I keep saying, I told myself I do better at getting rid of those little interjections, and then I don't. that's okay, because we all screw up and we all improve. And I want to thank you all so much for helping me do that with this opportunity, with this venue to talk and to get to explore myself, because it is kind of fun. I used to perform in plays and musicals way back when in high school, and so I like to think of this as kind of a vague extension of that. I also did some vocal work a long time ago, which was pretty fun. I'm in some Foreign Corrupt Practices Act training and sales marketing compliance training for Grange Insurance. And I also did videos for Pfizer, or for Cardinal Health, which I'm sure are long gone because they're very dated. And frankly, I'm happy because I would look pretty darn different from when I was an intern. Wow, all those days ago. That's part of why I enjoy this. This is fun. I do feel like it's not quite performing, but it's a variation of it. And it's nice for me to get to re-explore that in a way that I thought was kind of completely resigned to my past. Yeah. I feel like I had a point I was building to, and then I forgot it like halfway through that sentence. So we'll just continue on here to say that I'm so glad that you came by. As always, this has been a wonderful break in what has otherwise been some lovely weeks, some great events, some wonderful things to contribute to, but also in their own way a bit trying and tiring at times, which is, I don't want to be as a whine. I have it great. These are not significant problems. They're not problems by any rational metric, but it nonetheless is a pleasure to take a pause and do something like this. So I don't need to completely continue to constantly reiterate my gratitude. I will leave it there, and I hope you will be able to leave somebody here too, that you had a great time, hopefully, or at least a pleasant enough time listening along, and you're going to get to go out and be a little bit more zen as your week continues, and we can all keep celebrating together, especially as we ramp up for Pride. I'm sure we'll see more things that scare us, more things that anger us, and more things that excite us. And hopefully by working together, we can make all of the things that are bad be better, and all things that are good be amplified. So until that next time, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. This has been Builder's Block. I am Jess. You are awesome. I want you to go out there. I want you to build things, create things, and keep making this world into the better place we want to build it to be. Until then, keep safe, and I love you. Bye, everyone. I know the coming up screen is completely wrong. I'm going to throw it up there. I promise I'll update it, or at least make it a little bit more neutral. So here's the schedule that isn't quite applicable anymore. Bye, everyone.